Hello guys, welcome to the best to-do list application tutorial for Node.js, Express, sequelize, and postgres. So the topic for today is authentication. We're going to do user registration and sign in with jsonwebtoken. So in the previous tutorial, what we did was to create a server running on port 500 and also a migration, a user's migration. That is, the previous video we configured sequelize and postgres together, and everything is good and working. We're able to create the migration. In case you didn't watch this, in case you don't have this code, you can either watch the previous video or the link. I will post the link in the description below to link you to the source code of this project. So this tutorial will be doing authentication, and to start, let's first of all mute these ESLint errors. Yes, let's first of all mute them. Let's fix them. So we fixed the error, and this one too, it's okay like that. So no more error in this file. And also let's go to our models. Also there is an error here. Let's auto fix that too. And so let's use arrow functions here. So everything is good. We're going to need this model argument, so we don't have to remove it from there. And another one is this guy. We have to convert. Let's convert these to import statements. Import so we now have our import statement. We have to fix the ones to fix them. So and here this is still a request statement. Let's do an import on that. So it's importing our configs, our environment variables, to import unvars from config. So this is it. Just copy this one and edit here. So everything is good now. No more errors in this file too. So you can just do the same in order to minimize ESLint errors. So nextly, let's go and start doing what we're supposed to do. So create a controllers folder in your API file folder. Controllers and a file called controller. So in this folder, let's use objects. So before that, let's import our model. Import model and create an object called auth. This object takes an async sign up. This sign up takes a request, response, and next parameters. So now let's get our to do this. Let's first of all start by let's install bcrypt. We'll be using bcrypt to hash our passport, so let's install it. So do npm install bcrypt.js bcrypt.js jsonwebtoken, and then I think that's all. Let's install them. So the first thing we'll do is we are expecting that the user should enter his name, email, and passport. So let's get that from the request body. Do const name, email, password from the request body. So this is our user. This is our user credentials. And next, we have installed JSON webtoken, and so let's create utils folder to permit us create and verify JSON web token. So still in our API folder, let's create a folder, another folder called details, and in that folder let's just create index.js. So let's import now JWT from JSON web token, and also import bcrypt.js from bcrypt.js. So we'll be exporting create token, which is an array function, that takes in a payload. This payload is going to be name, ID. I think that's the most important part. The ID as a payload. Let's take ID and email. Yeah, but the most important one is the ID. So we'll do JWT.sign. The sign takes in payload, and our payload is the ID, email of the user. Now the next is a secret. So to do this, we will need another dependency to permit us use secrets here. Be using .env to store our environment variables. So we'll do npm install .env. So let's just create .env file. We already have that installed, so we already have our .env set up. So let's just create another environment variable called JWT secret. Now let's give our sequelize JWT secret. You can give it anything, like you can pass it any string as your secret. So in this file, to access that secret, we'll have to import the structure config from .env and invoke that config beneath. So now we can easily use our .env here, env variables in this file. Now we'll do process.env.jwt secret. Next is our option. For our options, let's give it an expiration date and the number of times the hours it will take to expire. Let's give it 1 hour. Expiration, let's give it 1 day, 24 hours. So now this is our token. Let's just return the token. Let's say const and return token. So this is an ESLint error. Let's ignore it. So let's create another module function called const verify token. Verify token. This will take the token as argument. And decode it to to be JWT dot verify text method and our secret JWT secret and expires. This is our signature. Expires in 24 hours. So return that decoded guy. And that is all. So for the bcrypt guy, let's create a hash module. So module export hash password, text in password, text in password, and returns bcrypt dot hash sync, passing the password and assault 10. Then another export const compare password, text in. What does this take? Let's give it password and hash. Text returns bcrypt dot compare sync, then our password and our hash. So this is it about it. This is all. So now we've created our modules already. Well, you know what? Let's create an object for this. Let's export an object instead of tokens. Token. Let's call this token. And then set this man inside. Remove the export and the so we're just going to do it like that. Oh, I'm not supposed to have this, so let's just remove this guy and return that line. Do a return here. Let's break our object out. So so we are returning the decoded token. Text in, let's say JWT token. So text that this token verifies it and returns the decoded value. And let's create another object called this. Let's save it like that. It's okay like that. So we're going to export this. So everything is good now. Let's go to auth controller. We're going to use that bcrypt guy. We're going to first of all use the bcrypt guy here, the hash function of the bcrypt. So we're going to do const hash equal to hash password, text in our password, and returns the hash. So we already, that's our hashed password. So now we're going to do to register the user. Now first, user equal to await user dot create, pass in the user credentials. We have name, email, password, hash. So we are saving the hash and not the password to the database. So before, this user is not defined, so let's define it. Do const, let's get it from the model, equal to models. So this is cool now. So we are creating the user already. After creating the user, we need to return the token, the user and the token. So let's create our token. We do JWT token. Let's import that. So token, the JWT token dot create token, pass in user. Now our token is created, so we need to return a response with the status 201. Text in token and the user object. Well, this user object shouldn't contain the password on it. It is, well, let's just return it like that for now. So we are able to create this. So because we are using async await, so we need to be able to catch an error whenever it arises. So we have to wrap this in the try catch block. So this is an error. So then we allow Express to handle our errors for us and do then next new error, and it's paste that our code inside. So it looks good now. Let's export. So this is okay now. This is going to create us our user. Now let's go and create our routes folder in our API. Do route. Inside, create just one file, index.js. That we have to, we're going to have a function called routes that takes in app as argument. This app is our Express app, and does app.get or app.create post. Parameter is your text name, API slash auth, sign up. Let's import our auth from the auth controller and sign up. So everything is good. Let me just ignore this error. So we have created our endpoints already. Let's configure it. Let's set it up in this our file. So we have routes. It's imported and passing this app to it, and also this our landing page endpoint. Then cut that and put it in the routes, in our routes file. So this is good now. So let's start our server and test it. Crash written forward. What is the problem? Okay, we have to install PG. Let's install PG to fix this error. Let's run our server now. So our server is up and running. So let's do this. So it's working. Let's give it okay. Let's pass in a body, request body name. We call it our email. My email and password. So let's now create it. Oh, we need to set the method. So we are able to create a user. So, but now as you can see, this is a password has been hashed and it has been returned. This is bad practice because it's a risk you're facing, exposing your password. Somebody who might know the algorithm used in creating this password can hack it and enter your account, use it malicious reasons. So let's go and remove the password from our user. Okay, so let's do so just return user name, email, and let's give it create at also ID. Well, we don't even need these ones. The most important ones are the ID. We have to destructure that ID from the user. So right now our application can create as many users with the same email as possible. So we need to restrict that. For example, when I create, I'm still able to create this with the same email. So I need to restrict that. To do that, let's go to our migrations first. Let's give it a unique attribute. Unique of true. But this is not enough because if you try to create it won't, and it might disturb your server when it's running in production. So it's always best practice to do the check in a middleware of software. So let's create a middleware folder and create and add a middleware folder. Add a middleware for authentication. Inside it we have authentication, add middleware. Let's just call it off. And inside we have to export default a function that takes request response next. This is a middleware for authentication. Gets the email, body, then checks. Let's get the others too. Let's make sure that the user enters email, name, and password. So I'm going to check if email, if the user doesn't provide an email, say return res status code of 400 stands a bad request and sending an error. Email is required. Then another if statement, if name is not provided, do return res status of 400 still. Name is required. If password is required. And also let's import our models. Let's import user, the user model. Models. So I'm going to now check that if the user exists already. Const, making this an async function. Const user dot find one, where email is email. Then I see if user is defined, still return res status of conflict. Conflict is 4. So status sending an error. User exists already. Else. Next. Just return. Next. So I'll move to the next middle. Don't have to give a return statement there. So this is okay. So this is our middleware and it's good to go. Later on we are going to add also validation for email. This is not enough. This is not enough really. So let's go to our routes file. We're going to import that middleware. Import authenticating. Let's say validate from. So that's supposed to be a default export. Let's give it the default. Okay, it's default already. From middleware is auth. So here use so this is it. Now let's go and try to create the same user again. You see, it is going to validate it for us. So we get user exists already. So our validation works already. So everything is good. So for email validation, let's use a package called validator. Let's do Google search validator npm. So this is a package. We're going to install the package. So npm install validator. We're going to use it to validate our emails. So we've installed it already. So to validate it, let's go to auth and import that thing. Let's import validator. And also we're going to check if not validator. Validator that is email. If it is not an email, return rest.status of 400. So this is it, and it's okay now. So we fixed that. Authentication, sign up, it's working very well now. Everything is good for sign up. There's nothing else out there. So now let's do our sign in method. I think this one is it's not going to take much of our time. Sign in, request response, next. Try catch. So we do can get the credentials. We have email, sign up. We will need email and password. Request body. Let's find the user with that email. We use dot find one where email is email. Remember, this is the same as email like that. So because we're using ESX, so we don't need to add this. Just do it like that, and everything's good. Then let's see if the user exists and decrypt. No, we have our hash already, so compare and compare password with our we do the password, the new password, compare the new password with the hash password, which is the one coming from the database. If compare if they are this is true, so if the two passwords are the same, and also checking that user exists before that counts token, you go to JWT token.create passing the user and return a response status of 200 send token and our user JWT name and email. We will have to structure that one more. So let's just name and ID. So if this condition fails, if it fails, return response with the status of 400 and send an error. Invalid email password combination. So this is, I think this should be all. So now let's go to our endpoint. We are signing in with this credential since we already have a user that get email on the database, or we didn't start that server. So now let's run that. Oh, sorry, we need to add the route for that. So let's add our route. Add that post API or signing. That's signing. And that's the illegal string arguments. 931. Okay, I think the problem is from a compare password. Let's debug this together. Let's first of all ignore these guys. Then what you're going to do is to let's console log the user object. So let's run that again. Let's see what it will return. It's returning a promise. Oh, so I see. My bad, my mistake. I forgot to do this. So let's run that again. Okay, it's now working. We might now wait it. So let's sign in now. Okay, so the signing in point works too. So this is all about it. We're able to do sign in and sign up with jsonwebtoken, bcrypt, and that's it really. So if you like this video, please subscribe. If you find it interesting, comment below on any blocker you face, any problem with the video. If you think there's a better way I could explain things, please just comment it down. I look forward to improving my way of explaining and everything. So thank you very much for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.